Hello and welcome back to the Box Score. I'm your host, Sam DeCoste, here to remind you that Robert Williams is leading the NBA in true shooting percentage. It's true. We checked. We start tonight in the NBA. The trade deadline is passed, and we've seen some blockbuster deals this year. The biggest of them all happening in the 11th hour between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. The trade most notably sending the disgruntled Ben Simmons to Brooklyn and James Harden to Philly. The Sixers also shipping out Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. The Nets also getting Paul Millsap back in the deal. So after sitting out the entire season so far, Simmons finally gets his wish. His time in Philly is over, and he's off to Brooklyn to play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Meanwhile, Harden pairs up with Joel Embiid in the city of brotherly love. For more on the NBA trade deadline, I'm joined by NBA experts Michael Logerwell and Faith Pinnow. Michael, over to you first. Who won this trade?
Sam, I've thought about this long and hard, but I think the Nets actually won this trade because I think Seth Curry is going to be a great addition for that team. And not to mention, when Ben Simmons plays, he's the perfect fit for the Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons isn't going to need to handle the ball in the fourth quarter and make any Atlanta Hawks mistakes because he's not going to have the ball. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are going to have the ball. And that's why I think it's going to work. It gives them great defense, playmaking, cutting, all that jazz. I think it's a great trade for the Nets. Not that it's a bad trade for the 76ers. I just think it's better for the Nets.
Faith?
All right, see, I am on a completely different side here. This is a great trade for the 76ers. The Nets, I feel like they just got what they could get out of this, which was Ben Simmons. You know, Harden made it very clear that he wanted to leave from what we know so far. Obviously, Simmons wanted out of Philly. He wasn't playing. He hasn't played the entire season. This we know. And as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done anything so remarkable yet. He won't shoot from a further range of 15 feet.
Pretty sure he was all NBA, but yeah.
Okay. Is Ben Simmons a good player? Yes. Can Ben Simmons make plays? Yes. Is he going to drive the Nets offense? Is he going to make them a little bit faster?
He doesn't need to drive the Nets offense.
No, but what I'm saying is that's what his spot is going to be. Switching to the 76ers.
No, it's not.
James Harden and Joel Embiid are going to have a crazy matchup. I mean, what they're going to be able to do on a high pick and roll, how they're going to be able to work the floor. Harden's going to be able to go to Philly. He's going to be able to start playing after the All-Star break, and he's going to do exactly what he wants to do, which is go be a part of that pick and roll with Embiid and then take to the floor. He wants to drive to the basket. Joel is going to be on the outside. He's going to be able to post up on the blocks. They're going to be able to – I think it's going to be a beautiful matchup is all I want to say.
Now, I want to build on that really quickly. Faith, you talked about the Harden-Embiid marriage or pairing. How will that work? Because James Harden doesn't exactly have a good track record with pairs. Chris Paul didn't work out with him. Neither did Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant. That's why he's here now. Will that even work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will.
How can they coexist together?
I mean, I think it will. I think he's grown a lot as a player. He'll
grown
always
a lot.
be.
He just forced his way out of Brooklyn.
Yeah,
how's that growing a lot?
Yeah, sure. He forced his way out of Brooklyn because the situation there was not working. Kyrie's playing half of the games.
Okay, sorry. The situation wasn't working. You had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden was there. I don't know. How does that not going to work? It's the biggest front three in the NBA. How is that not going to work?
They played less than 20 games together. Like Kyrie Irving only playing half the games and like, oh, I wish I was with the team. Get vaccinated, Kyrie. If you really want to be with the team, someone has to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but that's why it wasn't working. We're going to see this a lot, and we have been seeing this a lot in Brooklyn, is that their team culture, what they had going, was not working. They tried to make this monster all-star team. They had Kyrie Irving, they had KD, they had Harden, and it didn't work at all. There was no chemistry because we couldn't see them play because Kyrie wouldn't get vaccinated. He can't play at home.
But you feel confident that he'll have chemistry with Joel Embiid?
I do feel confident about that. And to my point that I was going to make before is I think Harden has grown as a player, and the fact that he'll always be a shooting guard, sure, but I think he's really embracing more of that point guard side of playing, and he wants to set up shots for other people. He wants to get the ball moving.
I don't know. I mean, you talk about the pick and roll this, pick and roll that. Joel Embiid's going to have the ball a lot, and James Harden isn't great moving without the ball, and that's what it comes down to. I think it'll be a great pairing, but I just don't think it'll be as good as Ben Simmons in Brooklyn.
All right, well, the Harden-Simmons trade wasn't the only shocking deal during deadline week. The Sacramento Kings and Indiana Pacers agreed to this trade, which sent Domantas Sabonis to Sacramento. The Kings having to fork over Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson in a trade package to acquire Sabonis. In exchange, the Kings also get Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a second-rounder next year. Faith, this one had a lot of us scratching our heads, didn't it?
Yeah, this one had me scratching my head, too, because it was kind of hard to tell with this trade who won.
Easy.
No, I mean,
No.
I said it was hard to tell. I didn't say that I didn't
Hard
have
to
an answer.
tell.
I've got you your
easy.
answer.
It's Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say.
It's the
Good.
Indiana Pacers. They won the trade easy.
Okay, Michael and I can agree on something. This is actually very good for our friendship. Yeah, I mean, the Pacers won the trade. The Kings, they got Domantas Sabonis, and he's a great player. I mean, there's no denying that. He's a two-time All-Star. He's fantastic. But now you have De'Aaron Fox as your point guard, and you're adding talent to your team, but it doesn't really have a place. It doesn't have a direction.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, I guess in theory sounds like a good pairing, but neither of those guys can shoot the ball particularly well. And at the rate defenders are going under screens when they're playing De'Aaron Fox now, this just doesn't feel like it's going to work in the year 2022. I mean, you get Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox paired up in 1998, that's a playoff team, baby. But it's just not. And I think trading Tyrese Halliburton is more than just getting rid of the player. It's trading away a guy who wanted to be in Sacramento. Really, like, he wanted to build up Sacramento and make that a destination. And for Sacramento to just be so short-sighted and trade a dude who will be a restricted free agent in 2023, 2024, for a guy who's only under contract for 2 years, like Domantas Sabonis could leave in 2 years, and that's it for the Kings. They have to rebuild again.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are the Kings better now than they were 2 weeks ago?
Oh, 100%. The Kings are so much better. They could make the play-in now.
Okay.
But I don't know, who are the Kings going to beat in the playoffs? Like, other play-in teams?
Beat the Pelicans in the play-in?
Oh, wow. They should hang a banner for that.
They should
we
hang
beat
a banner
the Pelicans
for a play-in
in the play-in,
the
2022.
10 versus the 9.
It'll be their claim to fame. It'll be their claim to fame.
It's parade time in Sacramento. Let's call the city planners.
I do quickly want to point one more thing out. You guys want to hate on me for my whole pick and roll thing that I'm on right now, but I have to tell you, with the Pacers, with Miles Turner at the center, and now you have Tyrese Halliburton, who's a second-year guard. He plays
Hold up. Before you say something, you're gonna
disappoint me.
Miles
here.
Turner isn't a pick-and-roll player. This allows Miles Turner to really spread out the floor more. The Pacers are going to be playing 5 out so Miles Turner can shoot. He's not going to be pick and roll.
I know, but I'm saying it's such an opportunity where they can really have a different offense than what they've had, and it can be mean. Like, I believe that it can be mean between the two of them.
I agree. Indiana loves stockpiling smart basketball players. Chris Duarte, Malcolm Brogdon, and now Tyrese Halliburton. I think the Pacers are set up really well for the future.
So you don't buy this as a rebuild. You think that the Pacers are also a better team after the trade. So both teams got better.
Yeah,
but
but
I think the Pacers are playing the
were bad.
long game here, and I think that's a smarter move, and I think that's why they won.
Yeah, the Pacers weren't going to do anything this year. They haven't been doing anything for a couple years. So for them to get a really good player, getting rid of a guy who opens up space for another player, like, they essentially get Miles Turner back in this trade because it opens up him on the offensive end.
Yeah. The last trade on tap for today between the Portland Trail Blazers and the New Orleans Pelicans, and in this deal you saw C.J. McCollum get shipped off. The longtime point guard. The McCollum era in Portland is over after years of speculation, after years of trade rumors. New Orleans also get Larry Nance Jr. and Tony Snell. The Blazers acquiring a package of players and picks, including a player they have since traded away in Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Michael, how do you interpret this trade?
Well, Sam, this is a tough trade for me as a Portland Trail Blazers fan. I do love C.J. McCollum, the person, but him and Damian Lillard just has not been working out for them to be a legitimate title contender in the West. I mean, even that year they made the conference finals, it was almost kind of like a joke. Like, oh, congrats to the Trailblazers, and then they got swept real quick. But that being said,
the conference finals isn't a joke. You don't just get there lollygagging around.
No, I know, but you don't hang banners for the conference finals. And
I mean, the Colts do it. The Colts do it in the NFL.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, come on, that's Indiana. Relax.
Okay, fair
but
enough.
I don't think this is really a great trade for New Orleans either. I mean, it is, but not like on the court. I think outside of the court, C.J. McCollum's already said that he wanted to be in New Orleans, and I think that's a great step for the young team. It makes New Orleans more of a destination when you get guys like C.J. McCollum, who's well respected throughout the league, wanting to go there. And not only that, 7 years of 20 points per game and playoff experience, C.J. McCollum knows how to win. No one really on the Pelicans knows how to win. I mean, Brandon Ingram was stuck in rebuild limbo for like 6 years despite being an unreal player. So I think it is, I don't love the trade.
McCollum also, his contract, only 2-year contract, so he could leave after 2 years, and he's getting paid $69 million over those 2 years. He's never even been an all-star in his career, and he's over 30 years old. This seems like I mean, they didn't sell their soul to get McCollum in the building if you're New Orleans, but it's not exactly, is it even a smart move for the Pelicans for a fringe play-in team?
no, I don't think it is. I didn't think it was smart for the Pelicans to do that. I think C.J. McCollum takes up so much cap space. They weren't really thinking about their future there in the things that they sacrificed. I think if we had to call a winner in this trade, it would be the Trailblazers. And the only reason I say that is because I think that they, again, are playing the long game. And I think that that's what they needed to do. I mean, listen, you've got Damian Lillard still. Players, once he gets healthy again, people love to play with Damian Lillard.
I mean,
he gets
people
some time
love to
to
do
recruit.
it, but no one's gone there yet.
Yet?
What did they sign? Oh, Evan Turner. I'm sure he loved to play with Damian Lillard. But the Portland Trailblazers mainly acquired salary cap in this trade, and it's still yet to be seen if any stars want to come out to Portland.
But I think that they gave up. They were like, okay, listen, we're going to be 10th seed at best. Do we just get this year? Is this year a wash? Maybe.
I don't know. It's different because the Pelicans are trying to show Zion that they're trying to win, even though Zion really just doesn't seem to care.
And Zion hasn't even reached out to McCollum yet.
Which is going to be a huge issue for the team, I'm afraid. I think that if I were a Pelicans fan, I would be a little bit worried right now.
All right, that'll put a wrap to our segment about the NBA trade deadline. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're staying with the NBA and painting our playoff predictions. Stay right here.
Kill yourself or get over it. Life is unfair. Kill yourself or get over it. Life is unfair. Kill yourself or get over it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jared Tatro on the street for Common Sense, a game show for normal people to test their life skills and average knowledge. But today we're going to harass some Emerson College students to see if they have any knowledge of daily life skills. They probably don't, but who knows? Some of them might surprise me. Let's find out. Excuse me. How many inches are in a foot?
4, I don't know.
No, 12! Ma'am, excuse me. What colors are on the American flag?
Purple Emerson colors.
Oh my God! What is wrong with you? Excuse me, ma'am. Who is the most recent winner of Best Actress at the Academy Awards?
Genevieve Powley. That's me.
I don't have time for this. Goodbye. How much money is 1,000 euros in United States currency? What? Excuse me, sir. What is the capital of Virginia?
Richmond?
I think that's true. Yes, correct. Have a good day. Excuse me, sir. Who's the president of France? They don't know. All right, let's go. I think I scared them. I think they were younger than I thought. Excuse me. What is objectively the best planet?
Pluto.
No, wrong. No, it's the sun. The sun is like the king of planets. Goodbye.
Welcome back to the Box Score. I'm Sam DeCoste here with Michael Logerwell and Faith Pinnow, and now I'm joined on stage by Jeff Grundy. Now, we've just passed All-Star Week and the NBA, and we're now officially halfway through the season. With that, each of us has put together our playoff predictions for the end of the NBA season, and we're going to dissect each and every one of them and see who's going to be right. So Jeff, from off the bench, we're throwing you into the Wolves right away. Let's see your playoff picture for the NBA on the screen.
Well, Sam, I'm really excited about this. My biggest thing is that I'm leading with the Bulls in first.
You got the Cavs at 7. Have you been watching basketball this year, man?
I like the Cavs. I'm not saying
like
that the
them?
Cavs
What are
aren't
the
good
seven?
enough.
Oh, you have the Nets above the 76ers.
But I
All right.
don't trust the Cavs. I don't trust the Cavs not to blow it. But I'm not talking about the Cavs. I'd like to talk about Bulls as number 1 and Heat as number 2. I love the Miami Heat. I love what they're doing. They're working with guys who honestly nobody else would take. They're turning diamonds into the rough. And now the Nets, they're making a diamond out of the rough.
The biggest diamond out of the rough is DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Bulls in 1 because of DeMar DeRozan. I'm so excited to see. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm.
Yeah, I
Lonzo,
mean-
Lonzo in the playoffs. What am I
There you
talking
go.
about? Lonzo
Yeah.
in the playoffs. I'm so excited for that. And I do have the Nets above the 76ers.
I'm sorry.
I trust them more. I
Trust
don't
them
trust
over-
the process.
You trust them over the
I
process?
don't trust the process.
So wait, hold
You
up.
trust what's about to happen in Brooklyn more than you trust what's going to happen in Philly.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
I
You're
think-
turning
I
on
think-
me here.
I think the Nets gained bench depth in Seth Curry. They just signed Goran Dragic. I love Goran. He used to play for the Heat.
Okay.
Goran
Everybody loves
Dragic.
Goran. They're getting Kyrie back soon.
Hold
Shout
up.
out to
Are-
Eric.
Are they getting
Adams.
Kyrie back full time
Yeah,
soon?
that's the thing.
Like,
You're telling
what's
me
he
you
gonna look
trust,
like?
you trust a team with Kyrie Irving, who right now has only played road games. I know the mayor of New York City said they're gonna, reconfigure the COVID restrictions. But you trust a team with Kyrie Irving, and you're pointing to Goran Dragic and Seth Curry as why you trust this team more. Those guys aren't gonna win you playoff games.
Also,
Here's
is your
my
faith in the
question.
Nets resting on the New York mayor making decisions? Because that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, but also,
Yeah, you
why are
trust
the,
that?
Jeff-
Joel Embiid's
You can't
an
trust the
MVP
New
this
York
Yeah,
York.
year.
Jeff, I have a
something else.
question. Why are the 76ers so low? Not even why are the Nets above the 76ers. Why are the 76ers so low? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I will name you 3 teams that will beat the 76ers
Tell me right now.
outright.
Okay.
Bulls, Heat, Bucks. Those are 3 teams.
I don't know. I don't have
that's a
faith in the
wipe.
Bucks.
They're
It's-
wiping the floor with them.
Sounds like none of those 3 teams are the Brooklyn Nets, Jeff. Come
But they're
on.
still better. They're
No,
still
I mean,
better.
I just can't believe the Cavs. Darius Garland, all-star. Jared Allen, all-star.
No.
Evan Mobley is generational. And you're just...
I don't know. I have the Cavs down there too, so I
Wow.
can't hate on you for that.
You guys
I
are
agree.
terrible.
Well, what a way to start that segment with a bang with Jeff's picks. Thanks so much, Jeff. Now let's go to Faith's picks, and let's see how
Yeah.
similar they are.
Yeah. Take it in, everyone.
You want to talk about it?
Okay,
for us?
basically, here's what I have. I have 76ers leading. I have 76ers going to the
Can
playoffs
you explain
for sure.
that? Because
Yes,
I
I
mean-
can explain that. Everybody's gonna say that's a hot take. The moves that they've been making the last 2 weeks are incredible. They moved up like 3 spots in the standing, which I know, like one thing is one thing, but we have the last third of the season to go. But I have faith in what Harden and Joel Embiid can do, and I've
You have
said it once,
faith
I'll
in
say it
the
again.
process?
Yes, I
This
have
is
faith
the
in
same
the process.
that had Jimmy. You had Jimmy Butler. You blew it. You had Ben. You blew it. You had Markel. He blew out his elbow. He
hold
can't
up.
play
Yeah,
anymore.
well-
you blew it.
Hold
the
up.
76ers are gonna keep going down in history
Okay.
as the team that we're
Jeff,
supposed to trust.
hold
and
up.
we don't see it from them.
Hold up, that's got to be one of the worst arguments
Yeah,
I've
your
ever heard
argument
on
is
this
that
show.
people are getting
You're
injured?
You're saying that the 76ers are going to be bad because they let Jimmy Butler walk in free agency a couple years ago?
I'm saying
are
the
you kidding me?
organization is bad.
The
They
or-
don't like their players. They tried to ship
I
Tobias
disagree.
out.
Daryl
Why are we
Morey-
shipping out Tobias?
I
We love
disagree.
Tobias.
No, I
'Cause
disagree.
he's
I think they
overpaid.
love their players. I think Daryl Morey is the reason that James Harden is in Philadelphia
Yeah,
right now. I
That's why
think that
James
they have a
Harden wanted
close
to be in
bond.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Well, hold up. I want to switch topics to the West a little. Got the Mavs at 4. That mean that?
Okay,
what?
okay,
I
someone
know
was gonna say
Luka's
it.
a great player, but who else besides? Oh yeah, I forgot. Spencer Dinwiddie
Okay,
is
no.
gonna carry that team.
No,
guys.
no, I think Dinwiddie adds what he can add, which is he has a strong mid-range shot. He's a reliable player. And yeah, you have Luka putting up points. You have
You
him
lost
every
Kristaps.
single
You
game.
lost
I mean-
star talent. I mean, sure, he
Whoa,
wasn't good. He wasn't
star
good.
talent. Kristaps
Back up. Everybody
Porzingis.
knows his name.
More like
Everybody
locker-
knows his name,
more
so
like
he is
locker
a
room
star.
cancer,
I'm not saying that he's a
Kristaps
good
Porzingis.
star, but if
Whoa.
everybody knows him, he's a star.
He's more like a black hole. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, but now he's gone, and now what are the Mavs going to do? Are they going to get better?
I
I
mean,
think
that was a very lateral move in my opinion, and I just don't think Luka Doncic. I mean, I think Luka Doncic is an unreal player. I do not want to disrespect Luka Doncic, but he's not. I think the West is too good.
No,
I
I
think
mean-
the Timberwolves are sneaky good too.
I think they're sneaky good. I don't know if I can tell you if they're going to make it all the way up. I don't think they're going to beat the Mavs.
Imagine
I really
the
don't.
Clippers.
I think the top three
what
of the
about
West.
the Clippers?
I think the top three of the West is locked up right now. I think.
yeah.
I mean, Suns definitely top. You have Golden State. It's going to be second. Like that's undeniable.
Do you still think
and
that
then
with
in third,
Chris
I have
Paul being
Grizzlies.
out? I mean, Chris Paul.
Yeah,
he's just
he hurt
out.
his thumb. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. But I think that they can do enough. I think that I think that the Suns can do enough.
You ever play basketball with a broken thumb? I've done it. It's hard. It's painful. You can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's not doing it.
I'm a
That's why he's not
basketball
doing
player,
it.
Sam.
And like
I'm
even
sad
the
about
recovery
Chris
from a broken
Paul.
thumb, speaking from a thumb recoverer, like
Yeah.
it's not good news. It takes a while for those to rehab.
Sure, I know, and I think that they're a strong enough team that they're going to be able to make it work without
Okay.
him.
All right, let's move on to Michael's picks now, and Michael
yeah.
always brings the outrageous takes. So let's check those out now.
I want to see where the Celtics are.
Oh, you're gonna have to look on the screen for a long time because they're real low. I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics.
Seven?
Wow.
Hold up. Let
I
me
have a
explain
Heat
myself
5 pick.
before this.
I'd walk over there
So
if I could.
I honestly don't. I think the Celtics start to this like calendar year is kind of fluky. I still just don't 100% believe in this team outside Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And I think Derek White is a really, really similar player to Marcus Smart. And I'm not necessarily sure that's what this team needed. They need more of a reliable outside shooter, and that's not exactly what Derek White is. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Celtics are still good. They're still going to make the playoffs. But I still don't think this team scares anyone in the playoffs.
So Michael, you're not subscribing to that 9-game win streak the Celtics had when they were the hottest team in the NBA. You don't put any merit into that.
Oh, I put merit into it. That's why
But
they're
the
the
seventh
7th
seed,
seed.
that's not much merit.
Michael.
I just think they're going to cool off.
What, do you give
Cool off
defense
to-
no value?
Okay.
Like, they're clicking right now.
Oh.
You don't think they're scaring people? You don't think they're going to scare anyone
I mean-
in the playoffs? I think they're going to scare people. I think that they're going to force teams to run down the shot clock, and then next thing you know, you're going to have Marcus Smart breathing in your face, and you're going to have 5 seconds on the shot clock, and you're going to make something that you miss. I
Yeah,
think that they are a team to be afraid of, and I think they're moving their way up
I
right
mean,
now. in
you
the
got to
East.
score points to win games. And
can score.
That's how you win
or
games.
They
block
can score.
shots.
That is how you
Or
win
block
games.
shots. If Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown aren't putting up 30 every night, I don't know how this team wins.
Now, Michael,
I
let's go to the West as well. Highlight what you think stands out in the West for your predictions.
All right, so I think one prediction I have that's kind of low is I do have the Mavs 7, like I highlighted on
Wow.
the last one.
You don't believe in Luka that much, apparently.
I don't. I still think Luka's a really good player, like I said earlier. But then I also have, I feel like I have the Nuggets fairly low.
Yeah.
I guess middle of the pack. I mean, Jokic is great, and Aaron Gordon's a great role player too. But I just think without Jamal Murray, I think it's tough for this team to really go anywhere. I mean, they really need that secondary option, and with MPJ and Jamal Murray out, they just don't really have that. And I think that's what's holding them back.
You think they're going to burn out, that Jokic by himself can't have a monster season lead this team much farther than the 5th seed?
Yeah, I mean, they could still make some noise at the 5th, and I think if they get out of the first round, they're going to give the 1 seed some problems. But I think it's going to be tough for them, anything beyond that.
They can
And
give
also-
the Suns problems at the number 1 seed?
Yeah,
I-
like
I
what's
like
that?
their
What's going
Clippers
on?
pick.
Well,
I
giving
like
them
their Clippers
problems.
at 8.
I mean, it's still like Suns in 6, but I mean, but yeah, I do have the Clippers at 8. I
Yeah.
think the Clippers are a pretty scary team, honestly.
Apparently, Kawhi's already working out. We
I
have
don't-
we have Kawhi in the gym. Paul George is probably fishing somewhere.
I don't know how you can call the Clippers a scary team, but you say the Celtics aren't scary. You say that you wouldn't be scared by the Celtics,
I'm not
but you'd be
scared
scared
of
by
the
the
Clippers.
Clippers.
I don't think anybody in the history of basketball has
Michael
been
just
scared of the
said they're a
Clippers.
scary team.
I just think that
What?
it's really surprising that both of their superstars are getting real healthy,
I mean-
or whatever they can get as close to healthy,
Okay.
right at the time that they need to be.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
you guys remember that one year, a couple years ago, where the Thunder were like the 8 seed, but it was because like Kevin Durant was out all year and he's coming back?
Exactly.
Like, that's kind of scary. I'm not even sure Kawhi needs to be there, but this reminds me of that Clippers team that gave the Warriors a real good show, and that Clippers still had Shea and Lou Will and Montrez. I think they still had Montrez. I'm not 100% sure.
Ooh.
But they had that whole like I don't know, that like mesh they had, like they're a mid-major college and they're coming to beat up on a two seed.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thanks, Michael, for your picks. Now, I couldn't help myself. I got involved in the action, too. I have picks. I want to see them on the screen. I want to tell you all about them right now. Let's see them. Right here they are. So I have the Miami Heat in the first in the East. Then you got the Bucks Bulls. Now, I think the Cavs, I don't know how much I subscribe to the Cavs in a playoff setting. I think the Celtics will go up a little bit. They'll be in the 5th. Also, I'm the only one that has the Hawks in the playoffs as well. No one else has the Hawks. Also for the West, it's not really anything special in the West. Although the Lakers are going to be in there.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
They're the only one.
Is this like
How am I the
surprised.
only one that has the Los Angeles Lakers
Because
with
you're-
LeBron
they're
James in the
just
playoffs? That's a national
so-
disgrace. We did this last season. If you were on me last season, you know I was the only one that had Alabama in the college football playoffs, and I was right, and I schooled everybody, including Michael Logerwell. And I had the Lakers in the playoffs. I'm going to school all of you again.
Yeah,
it's
but
going to happen.
Alabama didn't have Russell Westbrook touching the ball
There
so
are
much.
so many issues
so
with this.
inconsistent. They're hot, they're cold, LeBron's great, everybody else is...
LeBron's great. Everybody
Mediocre.
else, every other time, it's like the geriatric show. I'm sorry. Like, you're gonna hate me for saying that, but it's true. It's almost painful to watch. And at this point, it's like, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't go, it's painful.
It's
But
painful.
Sam,
As someone who's a Lakers fan?
Let me lay this out, how this season's going to go for the Lakers from here on
Love to
out.
hear it. Let's see it.
Anthony Davis is injured. He's going to come back. He's not going to be 100%. Russell Westbrook's going to keep doing Russell Westbrook stuff, which is whatever you want it to be. I don't think Russell
Mess
Westbrook's
up.
that bad. And then
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be still really good, but then we're going to come down to like last month of the season, and the Lakers are like 5 games out of the playoffs, and LeBron's going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to rest up this year.
All right, okay, you
That's
see
what's
what
gonna happen.
all of you are
I
doing
think
right
it's gonna
now?
fall apart.
All of you are taking LeBron James's greatness for granted, as you always
That's
have,
not
as
true.
everyone has.
No,
You're taking
no.
his greatness for
I love
granted.
LeBron.
You don't think I have them sticking as the 8th seed. You feel so empowered that like the Clippers are gonna sneak in, or the Pelicans or the Kings. Who else is gonna sneak in at 8? The Clippers? Come on, they're not even the best team
I
in the
mean,
town.
I'm sorry.
The Clippers aren't even the best team in Los Angeles.
Sam, this is a hopeful thing. I almost had it too. I was like, do I throw the Lakers in there? It feels like
They're in my
it almost
play-in.
feels like the right thing to do. But I think for you, I think that I don't think that's gonna happen, and I think we should bet money on it.
I just don't
You
think
and
LeBron's not going to go God mode to get the 7 or the 8.
You don't
seed
know
this
that?
year. I just don't.
You
think
don't
he
know
is.
that? We've seen it do it with the Cavs.
Yeah,
What's
but
happened?
at
The
the
Cavs
5
is a
seed,
different team. Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's it for this exercise. That was fun. Definitely a lot of yelling going on. If there's anything we've learned from this exercise, is that we all think the same, and we also all know what we're doing. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to pivot to the Beijing Olympics and talk about the top storylines that happened in Beijing this winter. Don't go anywhere.
Kevin is a terrible president.
Can someone please raise their hand and tell me what Trinity did wrong? She didn't call you Mr. President. Mr. President.
I like to think I was elected because I wear this suit every day.
My suit is at the dry cleaner, so I had to borrow something from my sister's closet.
I have a good work ethic. I'm approachable, handsome, and most importantly,
It's a good thing I'm the second closest thing to God, because these people, they're a hot mess.
Welcome back to the Box Score. I'm Sam DeCoste here with Michael Logerwell, Faith Pinnow, and Jeff Grundy. This week we said goodbye to the Beijing Winter Olympics. Team USA flies back to the States with 25 medals in tow. Tonight on the box score, we're going to highlight some of our favorite athletes that we got to see perform on the biggest stage over the last few weeks. Starting with Michael, who caught your eyes in Beijing?
So the athlete who caught my eye was Ayumu Hirano, who won the gold on the half-pipe snowboarding competition. Because it's so amazing how no one's talking about how he had a nearly flawless run. And he's doing moves that no one's ever even done on the half-pipe before, yet all anyone can talk about is Shaun White this, Shaun White that. I know Shaun White's I know Shaun White is like the godfather for snowboarding, but come on, give this guy some props. I mean, he was unreal, and he totally got shafted by the U.S. judge on like his first or second run, where he gave him an 89, and he was stuck in second place behind Scotty Miller from Australia. So he had to do last run of the event, and he put together like a 95 or 96 with one of the most flawless runs I've ever seen. And the announcer, who's watched a lot more snowboarding than me, has ever seen. I just think it's crazy how everyone's just, oh yeah, Shaun White's retirement tour. Like, you got to give this guy some props. That was an unbelievable run.
I'm sorry, we're talking about 5-time Olympian, 3-time gold medalist, 15 times X Game gold medalist Shaun White.
We
right?
are.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is,
Perfect.
I don't think it's fair to Ayumu Hirano that he puts together the best run of his career, and all we're talking about is Shaun White, who finished 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Michael.
Thanks, Michael. Let's go to Faith now. Who caught your eyes in the Olympics?
Okay, so I had Bart Swings. Bart Swings won gold for Belgium for the first time since 1948 in the men's mass start speed skate. He took home the gold for the country. This country, Belgium, has not had a gold medal in the Winter Olympics in 74 years, and he brought it home just after bringing home a silver in 2018. He is 31 years old, and he was just thrilled. He said all he wanted to do was just go back and go to the parade and drink beer. Respect to him. It was a crazy race. He led it almost the entire time. There was a crazy photo finish. The 3rd and 4th place skaters ended with, they had 1/100th of a second between them. It was nuts, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, and isn't that mass start speed skating like a relatively new event too? Like, that was just really cool to watch. That's like an event I've never seen before, and to see all those dudes like cross-country style starting on ice.
It is, yeah. They all go and they all have to bottleneck, and it's crazy. And to lead a race from start to finish and that sort of start, and to still have enough on the backstretch to make that sprint, it was incredible.
One thing I really want to highlight really quickly is that these skaters can hit up to 35 miles an hour, which is insane to think of on thin, razor-thin ice skates. I just wanted to bring that up really quickly. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo Ono who?
Now, Faith, I know you and I were talking about this before the show, and you told me that this is Belgium's 2nd ever gold medal in the Winter Olympics, and their first in 74 years. That's absolutely bananas. I don't know how not more people are talking about this.
Yes, correct. They won their first medal in 1948, and they have not won another since in the Winter Olympics until Bart Swings. And I mean, Belgium went crazy for this guy. For him to bring home a gold that far apart from the previous one, it was epic.
No better time than the present if you're Belgium. Now, Jeff, last but not least, who is your Olympic standout story from the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, I think my Olympic hero is going to be Nathan Chen. Chen won his first gold medal this Olympics with a gold in the men's figure skating singles. He's a 3-time world champion. He's a 6-time U.S. national champion. He's the first Asian American man to earn an Olympic medal in single skating. And I think that's a real accomplishment, and I'm really happy to bring this story to everybody and to congratulate him on his gold medal. He deserves it. One thing I also want to bring up is that during kind of like a ceremonial end to the figure skating session, he hit a full backflip. This is on the ice with skates. Now, there's really only been 2 other skaters who incorporated that into what they do. That's Terry Kupiak and Surya Bonali. Surya Bonali is the only person to do a backflip in competition. She lost points because it is an illegal move, but she earned everyone's respect. I would love if everybody could YouTube that when they have the chance. It is somebody hitting a full backflip on the ice, which is insane.
Hold up, Jeff. Did you say you really wanted to bring this story to the attention? Because this seems to be the only story I heard about at the Winter Olympics.
No, that one and the Shaun White one, I swear. Shaun White did overshadow everybody, but I did hear about this backflip, and that was crazy. So yeah, like Jeff said, everyone go YouTube that.
Well, it would be impossible to talk about this year's Olympics without recognizing the doping scandal that shook women's ice skating. 15-year-old Russian skater Kamila Valieva, one of the favorites going into the Olympics, tested positive for illegal drugs early in the games, but was still able to continue to compete and keep her medal. Now, Faith, you got to take a closer look into this.
Yeah, Sam, that's right. This week, I spoke with legal and medical experts to learn more about Valieva's controversial participation in Beijing. Young Olympians around the world are no stranger to the public eye. But 15-year-old Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva never could have seen this coming. Valieva made her debut at the Beijing Games and has since found herself at the center of controversy over a positive doping test. The test, taken in December, revealed 3 substances used to treat heart problems. Russian anti-doping officials say they only learned of the results last week, which showed L-carnitine, hypoxin, and the banned drug trimetazidine. The latter, also referred to as TMZ, is an oxygen-promoting medication typically used to treat chest pain caused by reduced blood flow to the heart. Dr. Sudeep Bose, an emergency room physician, professor, and former combat veteran, explains how the drug can be performance-enhancing.
In any aerobic sort of sport, you need max, VO2, you need utilization of oxygen, you need your heart, which is a pump, to pump oxygen, which is in the blood, to the tissues, everywhere from your arms, legs, brain, and to the heart itself. So if that heart or that pump is more functional, then you're going to get more oxygen to the tissues, and that can be performance enhancing.
Amid the ongoing investigation, the Olympic Arbitration Committee ruled that Valieva was, quote, a protected person and was allowed to take to the ice for both the women's singles competition and the free skate. Los Angeles-based criminal and civil law attorney Sean Berkeley says Valieva was able to escape major sanctions because of her protected status under IOC regulations.
So it's basically a bunch of countries who've gotten together, they've made a contract, and we're going to abide by these certain rules. And what they've done in this particular instance with respect to sport is they've inherited and brought in kind of very old legal concepts about what levels of culpability are assigned to people of different ages. She falls into the sport commission's version of that gray area. So she's 15, and as a protected person, she's entitled to certain presumptions that somebody who, oddly enough, 16, would not be entitled to.
Valieva's mother testified that her daughter ingested TMZ through close contact with her grandfather, who takes the medication for heart problems. While a burden of blame has been placed upon Valieva by the public, field professionals are wondering how effective IOC regulations are in protecting young athletes, and how athletes' mental health has been overlooked on a global scale.
And then there's another component to this, and I think that the IOC will be looking at this, is protection of the participant, but especially when they're essentially minor children.
We've heard about the case of, Michael Phelps and Simone Biles and the mental stress that goes along with the physical performance that's demanded. So I think it's very important that although we embrace, the physical achievement, that the mental component is just as important. And we're getting to see that more in the public eye now, the intense pressure that these athletes face.
With the Beijing Olympics in the books, the eyes of the world are still on the IOC, as protecting athletes' physical and mental health comes to the forefront. Athletes below 16 face the possibility that they may no longer be allowed to compete on the world stage. While there have been no official moves to adjust IOC guidelines, that could change come Paris 2024. For the Box Score, I'm Faith Pinnow.
Thank you to our very own Faith Pinnow for an inside look at potential new Olympic legislation. In other news, Major League Baseball is currently in a months-long lockout. Spring training has been delayed, and MLB and the MLBPA are nowhere closer to a final agreement. However, they have agreed on one thing, the universal DH. Michael Logerwell is here to put that into context for us. Take it away, Michael.
That's right, Sam. Zach Eflin at bats are going to be a thing of the past, Phillies fans. But that got me to thinking. Now there are 15 extra designated hitter spots in the league. Who's going to fill them? Old guys who hit tanks. Nelson Cruz and Albert Pujols are going to play until they're 50. Has anyone seen Chris Carter around? Because this is literally his bat signal. Eric Thames, Justin Thor. Julio Franco can still probably turn around a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, right? I mean, seeing more big dudes taking monster hacks can never be a bad thing. Yeah, the double switch might be dead, and non-Shohei Ohtani pitchers won't get a hit anymore, but overall, this is great for baseball. There won't be any more free outs at the end of lineups in the National League.
This is big news for MLB and a really, really dry offseason for baseball. There's not even baseball happening, and maybe won't even happening for a while. But Michael, when baseball does eventually come back, are you going to miss pitchers being able to hit?
Not at all, Sam. I mean, I know people love to talk about, oh, Bartolo Colon hit a home run. You realize Bartolo Colon's career average is probably below 100. Like, that's a once-in-a-millennia thing. The only pitcher I do feel bad for is Zach Greinke, though.
That's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for joining us on The Box Score. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at EIV Box Score and keep your eyes peeled for our next episode for some more red hot analysis like this. The dunk contest, it's got to go. It's not fun anymore. It's broken and there's no fixing it. So slash it. For Michael Logerwell, Faith Pinnow, and Jeff Grundy, I'm Sam DeCoste. We'll see you next time. We're out.